Hello, I'm Trish Osmond. I'm 73 years old. Was born in England on the beautiful little Isle of Wight just off the south coast and have lived in Germany for nearly 30 years. What is the first thing someone from England notices when they come to Germany? Or the difference between English mentality and German mentality? Germans like to organise things. They like to know where they're going and why they're going. Britons don't. They have no plans for the future, whatever. Whether it's children's education or Brexit or the end of the world, they have no plans. We'll muddle through. Somehow we'll get there. It'll probably be chaos, but it doesn't really make any difference if we've got a plan or not. What's going to happen is going to happen. And if it doesn't, we'll sit down and talk about it and have a nice cup of tea. A cup of tea. Now in England, that is something almost holy. And when I say tea, I mean the black leaves that come from India and China. Not this rubbish of herbs and fruit. That isn't tea, that's medicine. A cup of tea in England is what you have when your house has burnt down, when your dog has been run over and killed, when you've just had a new baby. You sit down with your friends and have a nice cup of tea with milk and maybe with sugar. And if that doesn't work, well, at least you've had a cup of tea and probably a digestive biscuit, so life can't be that bad. We're still alive and breathing. But that won't do for the Germans. They like to know where they're going and why they're going. I mean, look at Brexit. There are absolutely no plans. Nobody knows what to do or how to do it. If the Germans organised a Brexit, we'd know exactly what the plans were in the next 5 years. But we'll get there, somehow. The country may be broke, but at least we'll still be British. Something else that, of course, is very important in Britain is the class system. Everybody knows where he stands in the class system. I, for example, consider myself to be middle class. My father was a local government officer, and my mother's father had a string of businesses, even if he did drink himself to death with whiskey eventually. When I meet someone in Britain, I know exactly which class they're from, whether they're working class, middle class, or upper class, and I treat them accordingly. That doesn't happen in Germany. When you meet someone in Germany, you talk to them as they are, and I don't know, maybe you just accept them. You certainly wouldn't think, he works in a building site, I'm not going to talk to him. Or, oh my goodness, his father is somebody terribly important in government. I need to bow and be polite to him. You speak to people as they are. That doesn't happen in England. I know exactly where I stand, and I know exactly where you stand. And I know exactly who I would like my children to marry, and I know who I would like to live next door to. That is very important. Let's talk about food. Now, food is important. In morning in England, you start off with a cup of tea. Even if you later go to Starbucks, you start off with a cup of tea. And for breakfast, you don't have bacon and eggs, not nowadays, except maybe at the weekend. You probably have cornflakes or yogurt or muesli. You certainly don't have a roll with sausage or jam. At midday in England, you have a quick sandwich, maybe beans on toast with brown sauce, lovely. You don't sit down and have a hot meal. You have a big hot meal at night. While the Germans are off eating dry bread and sausage, you're tucking into a nice hot curry or a pizza, which is much, much better. Yes, that's one big difference. And of course, with your nice hot meal in the evening, you have a cup of tea.